Hi, my name is Jay Prashant. You are watching Car Talk. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2026 Tata Punch Facelift iTurbo. It's got a 1.2-litre turbo petrol engine. Finally, it's got a lot of power and torque. So let's jump into the car, drive it, and find whether the Tata Punch has finally got that punch. The first thing that you notice is it's a comfortable seat. It's a fabric seat, of course, but the seat has got height adjustability. So height adjustability is important because with height adjustability, with the seat set to the highest, what you can notice is the bonnets, the edges of the bonnet, which makes it quite easy, to basically get a sense of how large the car is in traffic, etc. And considering the fact that 70% of Punch buyers are first-time car buyers, for them visibility is very important. Through the windscreen as well as overall visibility. In the Punch, overall visibility is really very good. You have these wide wing mirrors. You also have a 360-degree camera to help you out in case you get into a sticky situation. All of these are useful features for first-time car buyers. It's going to be extremely useful. It also helps that the steering is tilt adjustable. So getting into a comfortable ergonomic driving position is very easy. Controls fall to hand very easily. The indicator stalks are on the right and the wipers are on the left. You have automatic headlamps and automatic wipers. On the top end accomplished S Plus trim that we are driving, this is priced at 9.79 lakh rupees. It's powered by a 1.2-litre triple cylinder turbo petrol engine, the same unit as you get on the Nexon. Peak power is 120 PS, peak torque is 170 Newton meters. The gearbox is a 6-speed manual unit. There is no automatic here. So we started off driving the Punch at about 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Absolute cold start. Once you start the engine, there's a little bit of gruffness. It's a triple cylinder unit. There's a little bit of cabin shake as you start the engine up. But after that, after maybe 10-20 seconds, once the engine is slightly warmed up, it settles into a nice low idle. There's no problem there. And once you get off the line, it's pretty easy. The clutch is quite light, but it has long travel. The gearbox is reasonably slick, but again, it has long throws. The shifts are a little rubbery. It's not very slick. It's not a very slick gearbox, but yeah, it gets the job done. That is the feel of the gearbox. Now let's go back to the engine and talk about the engine itself, because the engine is the biggest change on the Tata Punch. Previously and even now, the lower trims of the Tata Punch get the 1.2-litre naturally aspirated Revotron engine, which makes about 88 PS and about 150 Newton meters of torque. But this one makes 120 PS and 170 Newton meters of torque. So it's a big bump up, nearly a 50% bump up in both power as well as and even more in terms of torque. So that is very evident as soon as you start driving the car. It's much more peppier and the car is much more eager. It gets off the line much more quickly, and the first gear is quite long. You do it about, it's not quite long, it's quite short. You can do about 48 kilometers per hour in the first gear if you actually push it and take it up to 6,200 RPM. The second gear is extremely tall. You can actually use this car like an automatic in both second and third gears, because in second gear the car goes all the way up to 88 or 90 kilometers per hour, on the speed, of course. So it's very long, and you can actually pull it from 10 kilometers per hour to 90 kilometers per hour. So it's very tractable that way, and since it's so tall, that is one thing about the second gear. Similarly, in the third gear, you can start off at about 25 kilometers per hour and take it all the way up to 125 kilometers per hour. In fact, we were on an incline. This is when we really noticed how powerful the new Punch is, how peppy it is in terms of performance, because in the city when we're driving at lower speeds, we didn't really feel it. But once we actually pushed the third gear, and we saw about 125 kilometers per hour on the speedo, and this was on an incline. So this car builds speed very well. You don't have that turbo push. It doesn't really give you that very punchy performance like you would get in a turbo diesel car. Okay, but since it's a turbo petrol car, you go fast, but you don't feel the speed, and within no time you're doing some really good speeds. 125 in third gear, just as you push it, it's quite good and quite peppy for a Punch. So that is about how the Punch performs. The engine, the engine is finally, this is the time when the Punch has got enough punch, because the older engine was slightly underpowered for this car in terms of how it felt, especially if you drive enthusiastically. It wasn't really responding to your inputs, but this engine is what the Punch should have been sold right from the beginning. So it has that punch. So it's actually a punchy engine. So Tata's done very well to add the 1.2 liter turbo petrol engine into the Punch. That is one thing. And now let's talk about refinement levels of the engine. As I said, it's a triple cylinder engine. At startup, there's a little bit of cabin shake. You know that it's a triple cylinder engine. But in terms of vibrations, beyond that startup, first startup, you don't really have any vibrations across the rev range. It's quite a smooth unit. But what do you have? What you have is, plenty of noise, in the sense that the engine can get quite audible, especially when you take it to 5,000, 6,000 RPM. This is generally what normal people are not going to be doing, but I'm just telling it to you because this is something that you have to know about how the engine sounds when you actually push it and drive it aggressively. And in terms of noise, there is a little bit of noise because it gets gruff, and in terms of harshness also, the engine doesn't feel like it's the most refined unit. This is the same unit on the Nexon. It feels similar to what it is on the Nexon. It has that gruffness, and it's not the most refined units around, but in terms of vibration, it's very, very well damped, and you can't really feel it vibrating even at, say, 6,200 RPM. Even at the red line, it's pretty smooth, so there is no problem there. So while driving the car, you're not going to have an issue, except if you say you want a very quiet engine. This is not it. Now let's talk about the gearbox. Since it's a manual that we're driving, as I already said, the shifts are a little rubbery and there is a long throw, but it's positive gear action. You can shift to across all gears. There is no real problem in the ways the gears slot, etc. It's pretty cool there is no problem there. But what I didn't like is the long throw. If you want a sporty car, this is not it. I'll tell you why. Because see, the throw of the gear, the gear throws are long, and the clutch travel is also long. So you really have to basically stretch your leg for the clutch, and it's a light clutch, no problem with the clutch, but you really the travel is long. Since the travel is long, you can't really say shift quickly and drive very aggressively, so you actually feel that jerk when you actually shift because it's a long travel clutch. So enthusiastic driving, no, but great highway cruising and to get quick overtakes, etc., it'll more than support. Nice weight when you go faster. There's a nice the steering weighs up well. It's electronic power steering. At lower speeds, it's quite light. There is no problem. There's a reasonable amount of feel, but I would have wanted a little more feel because the steering is a little slow. It's not a fast steering. Again, I think Tata has intentionally done this because a lot of first-time buyers will be buying, and you don't want a twitchy steering. You want a steering that is more manageable, that is more approachable, that's more friendly. So this is that kind of steering. So you can't have very quick direction changes, etc., because it will change directions, but the body roll and the way the steering feels, you're not going to want to drive the Punch very aggressively. So that is the character of this car. It's more of a SUV. It's not a sporty hatchback. Now let's talk about ride quality. We drove across a bunch of surfaces. We drove across some really bad roads. For most parts, we were driving across Pune cemented roads, which are not the most perfect roads, and we also drove on some nice tar roads. So overall, the Punch has a busy ride. Okay, it's not a completely say settled ride like say you would have on for instance the Citroen C3. Okay, that is I think still the benchmark when it comes to ride quality. The Punch is still not up to that level in terms of ride quality, but it's a comfortable car. It takes in all the say imperfections of the road. It absorbs most of it. It doesn't transmit anything to the cabin, but you know that you are actually driving on say a road that is less than perfect, etc. So that much feedback is what you get from the suspension. But in terms of say big potholes, etc., it takes it quite well, and it's quite supple that way. So there's no problem with the ride quality. And this is actually good because as you go up the speed, say you do triple digit speeds, you don't want a suspension that's very saggy and it makes the car feel very unsettled. So at high speeds, it's pretty good. It sorts everything out. It basically handles all the imperfections of the road. There is no problem there. Okay, fuel efficiency, very important thing for a lot of first-time car buyers. On the Punch, I've done about 87 kilometers. I have another 10 or 15 kilometers to go, so about 100 kilometers. On the console, I can see about 8.3 kilometers per liter. That is because I was driving very aggressively, redlining it literally all the time, trying to see how fast the car goes in every gear, etc. With that kind of driving and a lot of idling, I've got about 8.3 kilometers in peak Pune traffic and a little bit of highway driving. The regular, if you drive regularly in the normal condition, I think you should be getting 10 to 11 kilometers per liter on the Punch, maybe even 12 kilometers if you drive gently. That is about your city driving fuel efficiency. On the highway, I think you can stretch it to 15, 16 kilometers on the turbo petrol engine. The key aspect while driving the Punch is braking. The Punch turbo is, and all the Punches that Tata sells are equipped with disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the rear. ABS comes standard across trims. So with braking, there's absolutely no issue. Nice progressive feel. It does feel a little wooden initially. After that, you can actually stop because it just takes a little bit of getting used to, and after that you can actually brake quite well. In fact, a bunch of places there were speed breakers that I missed, and I could actually slow down quite quickly with the brakes. So it's pretty progressive. There's no problem with the braking. Sharp brakes, powerful brakes. Nobody's going to complain about braking on the Tata Punch. And now the overall way the car drives, it's quite beginner friendly. You sit high, you have good visibility, and everything falls into place in terms of controls, etc. So to drive the car, it's a comfortable, friendly car. A lot of people who are beginners are going to enjoy the Punch. So this is basically my impression about the turbo petrol Tata Punch. So you like this kind of content? You know what to do. First, tell us what you think about the Tata Punch Turbo in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to Car Talk, and once again, thank you very much for watching.